have been obnoxious.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh my
Welcome
God!
back.
Have been those guys from that show? You know, I can turn off your microphone.
Yes, you can.
I'm just telling you.
I like microphone.
And it's been rather interesting, to say the least. I asked them a question before we went to commercial, and I'm still going to let them think about it a little bit.
Are we being graded?
Dino's at Vino's is at 6 o'clock this Wednesday, and we're going to be talking about a lot of things. We have a couple things that are coming up that we need to discuss for our devolution project. I think we're going to team up with somebody else, another group, to do something at the shelter, but I'm not sure yet. So that needs to be discussed. But I want you to still go to Dino's at Vino's at 6 o'clock because Sandy's going to be there. I'm going to be at the Women's Center at 5:30. And I've been honored to give a keynote speech at the this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And they've asked me to do a keynote. And I'm very honored to do that. And that's where I will be at 5:30. This Saturday, the 7th, at 10:30, we have Energy 101, and at 1 o'clock, we have Akashic Records. On the 14th, we have Journaling, and at 12:30, that's at 10:30, and at 12:30, we have Law of Attraction. So lots of things going on down here at Devolution.
Yeah.
Please check our Facebook page and the events.
Like us on Twitter?
And
on
like
Twitter?
us, yeah.
Like us
Diva
on Twitter?
Deb.
Follow
Diva
us
Deb on Twitter.
Follow us on Instagram.
Instagram, Diva Deb on Instagram.
Promote yourself.
We're everywhere. W4 Diva is everywhere. And we're going to also be at the Women to Women Expo, which is coming up on October 20th and 21st. I will be presenting at 3 o'clock
Maybe we should go.
on Friday and noon on Saturday. So please mark your calendars and see what's going on. It's all about making sure that you never feel alone, making sure that you are empowered and enlightened. And it's for divas and those that love us. And those guys love divas. It's obvious. They're an unplanned kind of thing on the network, and yet it seems to be working just fine. Eric and I talked about this, 3-4 years ago now, on your birthday.
Yeah.
About having a show, and but you know, the thing that I like about it is that it shows that W4 Divas is not stuck in a rut where we have different things. We're definitely diversified.
Right, you're diversified.
Yeah, and that's so important. There's something for everybody.
And I know sometimes we're the redheaded stepchild, but
right.
Our show is?
So that
people
means I
listen.
get to spank you.
Okay. If you promise. You promise?
Oh.
All right.
I'll bring the paddle.
Eric's
Here we go.
Eric-
I'm lining up.
I'll bring the
Alex,
paddle.
Alex's
Oh
eyebrows
my
went
gosh,
up.
Alex is bringing the switch.
Absolutely.
And the
No,
eyebrow raise.
I don't use a switch. I
He
use
said,
a
"Thank
paddle.
you. You will see how smooth my ass is." Yes,
Hello.
yes.
My bottom is very good.
All right, we digress. All right, so
You
now,
did it.
before we went to break, I asked
Okay.
you a question.
And I wrote it down.
And so, do you want to go first, Uncle
I
Rick?
can.
Uncle Rick should go first.
Uncle Rick
because
should go first.
Uncle Rick and his wife are just so cute.
Aw.
Stop.
They are
You know why she's my wife? Because I love her. But he
You guys are good together.
he was my he married us actually.
Did you
Eric performed
yes,
the ceremony.
I did.
Can you marry us?
I
'Cause
can
that's gonna
do
be
that
successful
too.
marriage.
I'm an
You can
ordained minister.
I am too.
Yeah?
Yes.
So
I'm ordained.
the let's see what would I what's to me the main difference between women
Itty-butty-bo.
Boys
is,
and girls.
is to me the biggest problem I've always had is communication. The way I either I hear and the lady talks or the opposite way. We both speak different languages. As much as we both speak English, it's hard to interpret sometimes because you just put too much into it instead of just listening.
Right.
But you always need to listen. Like somebody used to tell me, you got 2 ears, 1 mouth, which means you should listen twice as hard as you talk. So keep your mouth shut,
Confucius.
listen, and if you don't understand, ask questions.
Exactly.
That's right.
Amen,
That is a big
Uncle
On
Rick.
both sides of the story. And that would be the same thing I would tell a man in a new relationship. Listen, and if you don't understand and you're not sure, ask.
I love that. Thank you, Uncle. That's very insightful. Now we're going to switch over to a woman.
Oh,
Juliana.
hello.
Not you.
Not a Greek, a woman.
Little
The
close.
first part of the question was,
What's the difference?
What is one of the main differences between men and women? And the other one is if you were going into a new relationship, what bit of advice would you give?
the main difference between a man and a woman is the way they hear things. Not just that they, they listen, but they hear things at a different level. All right, men see things in more of a superficial way, and women see things deep, sometimes very deep. And the best advice that I can give somebody, a man and a woman in a relationship, is take your time.
You got 30 seconds.
Oh, that's very good. Take your time.
I do have to add.
Okay, now the Greek.
I do. Hello, ladies. I do have to ask.
Hello.
I do have
Give
to
me a
ask.
falafel.
You know the biggest thing I've seen in all my relationships is lack of communication.
Lack
Biggest
of
problem in all his
amen.
relationships is
Making
him.
things in layman's terms is the most simplest things. If I want you to do this, then it's better to say, I would like you to do the dishes or take the trash out, take the kids to the school, whatever. Layman's terms, straightforward communication, then nobody can go wrong, and then you have fun.
Especially instead of going,
I agree.
this place
You know?
is just a mess. And then you got to figure out
It
what
is.
that means.
Because emotions and everybody's different. I mean, I get that. I was in a relationship, and now I'm not, but the reason...
What
See?
happened?
Hey,
So here we
what
go.
are you
Oh,
doing
the
later?
Greek. What happened?
Hello, ladies. How are you tonight?
So,
No,
if you
so
were to
it's-
give advice
it's,
to a new person going into a relationship, what would it be?
Be honest, and because then you've got nothing to come back and bite you in the bum. And the other thing is
Tell the
communication. You got to communicate because, some of us have been divorced. We get it.
And you got to tell the
But
truth.
You've got to tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Because if you start going behind, weaning little lies here, a little story over here, at the end it's going to turn up. What was it? If you put if little lies are little pebbles, if you build a wall, it's going to be harder to knock down that wall.
Oh, I love that. That's very good.
So-
So be honest. Is
Just
your
be
advice.
honest, and and
Be it good or bad.
regardless of whether the relationship
Right.
works or not, just be honest, and that way you can sleep at night.
if it's a good relationship, the bad will make it through. So
and also stand
Right, that's-
stand by the person.
unless it's really bad.
Stand by the person. No matter, you've got to stand by them because that's the tough thing. Because
Amen.
the way I see
Stand
it
by
is your mum will stand by you, whether you lied or not. She'll stand
Oh, yeah.
by you,
Gonna
and then
stand
behind
by
closed
you.
doors, she'll beat your bloody.
You know what? When I got divorced the only time, I called and I said, "Hey, Mom, we're getting a divorce." The first thing she said, "Want to move home?"
You'll-
You know what my mom
I'm
said
like,
when
"No."
I called her and told her? She said, I never liked the way he treated you.
Wow. You know
Well,
what my mom
the first
said?
thing she said was, "You're shitting me." But then after that, she's like, "Do you want to come home?" And I'm
That-
like, "No, I'm good."
You know what my mom said? Because my mom's overseas, so it's harder for me because it's
Overseas.
And what did
can't-
she say?
I can't go to their
Can you
house.
say it in English?
Absolutely. So my mum, she said, no, she said,
That was my mom that talked like that.
I said, yeah, I'm going to come back because I'm going for divorce and everything's done. And she goes, well, did you try? And I said, well, yeah. She goes, if you try, why are you thinking about coming back?
Stay here.
Stay there and try. Never give up and try. And if you've given everything, then you can honestly say, I've given everything.
That's right. And that's the absolute truth.
And I praise her for that.
And then she said, "But if
Yes.
you come home, you can't stay here."
Yes.
And she said, she goes, if you want to come home, get a ticket to India.
Yeah, because wasn't that
India
where
is your
That's how I
home.
came here.
wasn't that where you were headed to India and you ended up in
Yep,
in Michigan? somehow?
the kid- oh,
Whole
yeah.
nother story. Okay.
It's a whole nother day.
Coming
All
on
right,
Thursday.
Sandy.
Where do you want me to talk?
What do you think the main difference between men and women is? And if you were to give advice to a person just embarking on a new relationship, what would it be?
Okay. I've been married 46 years, so I don't know. 46 times. No, 46 years. So I'm not real sure what to tell somebody with a new relationship, but from experience-wise, I think as the longer that I've been married and my husband as well, we do communicate more and things are smoother. The first 20 were terrible. The only reason I think we stayed together The only reason I think we stayed together is we didn't want to raise the kids alone.
Right.
We'd be in court going, no, I don't want to raise the kids. You can
I don't
have
want
them.
'em.
No, I don't want to raise the kids. You have them. So, and we laugh about that now, but that's kind of true, and we communicate more now. We work as a team now, but longevity did that. And we like each other
Well, that's
now.
wonderful.
We like each other.
The only time I
So-
ever worried about my parents was when they both retired at the same time. And then my mom, well, they didn't retire at the same time. My dad retired several years before my mom, and then she retired. And then I didn't live in the area. Next thing I know, she's working again. And I'm like, what are you doing back to work? You don't have to be in the house with them all day.
See, and I do like Dave home, but Dave cooks and he does stuff too.
He does
so.
too, but it was just the transition from him being retired for years, having his own routine when nobody's home,
Right.
to then her being there when that routine's going on,
Right. I can relate to
and it may be causing some conflict. Well, now they have the house is separate. It's not separated, but he's got his little place to go during the day. She's got her little place to go.
Oh, well, we kind of do that.
So
we
he
do that.
sits in the back room and he wants to watch his Fox News. She'll sit up front and watch the Lifetime channel, read a book, do some
But
knitting.
that works.
Yeah.
There's
That
nothing
works,
wrong
yeah,
with
that's
that
right,
because
that's right.
we don't like the same shows. Opposites attract, and we are. We don't even always like the same food, So, but it works.
Right.
It works for us. But
But you-
communication is the key,
That's
and that's
really-
the
We-
advice I would give
we-
any new relationship.
Man or woman.
As we have all
Man
said
or
that.
woman. Yes. Yep. That's
Very
all.
good.
And everybody likes Greek food, right? Okay, very good.
Very
Everybody
good.
likes
Opa! I don't know if I've actually had any true Greek food, and that says the kid that grew up in Detroit. So
So, didn't you ever go to Greek Town? Hello.
I did, but I always ate pizza.
At Greek Town?
Yeah, they
Was it
substitute-
gyro pizza?
Keep that because that's what we say at the end of the
That
show.
was at the.
And
I
want
went
me
to
to
the
say?
Pegasus, and you had pizza, and you had flaming cheese.
That's too bad.
Opa!
Opa.
When
No,
Gre-
Uzo. I got so sick on Uzo. I
when,
thought I was
when,
dying.
when the when Greek
I was
Town
so sick.
before it was a casino and it was a mall. Greek Town wasn't always a casino. It used to
I
be a
never
mall.
knew
All
that.
those buildings were
They
were
said
were
still
stores.
is restaurants, and it's still
But they were
is.
all the little cubby holes that are now were all stores. I mean,
Wow.
now it's a
So you could buy Greek food and Greek.
they had it
Oh,
was
the
it was like
Pegasus
going to it was
restaurant
like
was
going to the
awesome.
mall,
See, I like that better.
and they put this big roof over the. It used to be called Trapper's Alley, is what it was
Really?
called. Yes, it wasn't called Greek. It was called Trapper's Alley. Put a big roof over it, and all the whole basically the whole neighborhood, and they had bridges between what would be the alleyways and things like that.
There are some bridges still.
Yeah, those are still
Yeah.
there, but those used to be open. Those were all different
Opa.
buildings.
Wow.
Okay.
So,
moving right along.
who says first?
Now, Eric, it's your
What?
turn.
My
So,
turn?
what are the
Oh, we
main
forgot about
difference
him.
between men and women? And if you were to give relationship advice to a person embarking on a brand new relationship, what would it be?
Damn, I thought I was going to get out of this.
He says women are hairier.
Women are
No, that's
Uncle Rich.
but all the stuff has already been said.
I'm kidding.
There,
That
there are
needs to
so
be
many.
said.
You need to say
But there is
something
a lot.
else.
Yeah, there is. And I find myself, and she's listening right now, so so I got to be.
Are you sure
Hello.
you want me to check?
So you have
No,
to.
no,
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 she
no,
is.
no,
She is
You-
listening.
So you have to tell the truth.
No,
That's right.
actually, what it is honesty is a good one. In being upfront, explaining everything, communication. I find myself not really doing the communication thing quite a bit because I run a business and I'm very stressed. A lot of the time, there's a lot of stuff happening in my life right now that it's really tangled up and crazy with the show and with business and with other things that I've got going on and family matters and things like that. But you need to take the time away from all that, throw it aside, and say, I'm with you right now. Let's go do something.
Amen.
Let's be together. Let's go do
Like a
something
date
together.
night.
Help me forget about all this stuff. You're the main thing in my life.
Cleanse me.
You are the person I've chosen to be with.
Make sure you have an ugly man
And
beside you.
I'm sorry for being so busy. I guess it's kind of an apology. But I'm sorry for being so busy with everything that's going on. But at the same time, just try to make that person laugh at least once a day.
Exactly.
Oh,
We-
that's
try to
very
make 'em
nice. Yeah.
happy.
We do
If
it.
not once a day, once a week on Thursday at
Yeah,
6
it's-
o'clock.
you know,
Julie
whether-
says that,
So
that
what
I
would
make her laugh.
be
My
what
wife
would
says the
be
same
your
thing.
advice for a person entering into a new relationship?
It's all been said. The honesty, the communication, the making time
Slow.
for that person. Slow and whatnot. But you also need separate time for each other as well. Because you cannot be together 24/7 and